seeing as all my videos are getting 0 views, I figure I might as well put a couple out there. I have to say, I just got back from a walk and then I made an omelet. And there was just a video on my algorithm for TikTok with DeSantis regarding Minneapolis. I commend him on his stance on that. I might not care for people. I might be a little disappointed, particularly in the state of Florida, seeing as that's where I live, and all that's transpired around me. But I give credit where credit's due. I do. And I appreciate him taking that stance on Minneapolis and saying something and using his platform and be like, I'm not sure what they got going on up there, but that kind of madness is not going to be tolerated here in Florida. Obviously, people have the right to protest. People have the right to disagree with our government. But you can't attack people for no reason. You just can't. You can't attack people for no reason just because you consider yourself ICE or whatever. Like, you just can't. That's not okay. And so I commend him on his stance. Yeah, there's no reason to get physical in any of this. People protest. There should be no physical movement in a protest. I'm not sure where everything's getting squirmy and wormy, but there should be no physical contact with a protest. And so I commend him on where he's coming from on that venture. Another thing, I was just watching Ian Carroll uncover the moon cult and the CIA and the Bushes and all the underground. And it's so crazy, the connection between how the moon cult operates and how TPUSA operates. But I saw that, we all know what we know. We know what's going on over there. All right. And the operation that they've been running for quite some time now. And I think Charlie woke up there towards the end in reference to the money laundering. And I get it. It's been there, done that, got that t-shirt too. And this is what happens when people get a taste of money and they want to get taken to the next level, right? And so they just lose sight of their consciousness. They lose sight of what's right and what's wrong. They double down. They double down. And there's been a lot of that in my life. And a lot of the times, there was a thing that he was talking in reference to the moon cult money laundering and the underground connection of that. And in the comments, somebody had said men with godlike complex. And I was like, dang, that's so true. And it's not just men, it's men and women with godlike complexes. And then it was just kind of like an epiphany that I had. I've always been surrounded by people that carry a godlike complex. And it's generally speaking men most of the time. Whether that be my ex-husband, my ex, or my ex-boss. In different connections in reference to even, the companies that I work at now. And then there have been women in my life that carry a godlike complex, my aunt being one of them. And I'll tell you what the godlike complex is. Get close. They think they're right always because they say it, and that is that. And they don't have the ability to recognize that they may not be right. That just doesn't register in their mind, because in their mind, they carry the godlike complex. They carry the godlike consciousness. And then what even frustrates me now that I'm aware of it and I see it, in different forms, there is manipulation. In different forms, you can connect it to narcissism for sure. And I've been so blatantly around a lot of narcissists and a lot of godlike complex individuals that I'm very prominent and pretty well versed and pretty wise with picking up these things. And a lot of the times, you can just hear the words that are coming out of their mouth. And for me, I'm at a place in my life where it's like, I know there's not going to be any winning in a debate or a conversation with these people. So I choose not to operate in that. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of my energy. You're never going to win those conversations with these people. I can assure you of that. Trump is a godlike complex. A lot of these men in these hierarchy positions carry a godlike complex, and there's just no win or losing with them, unfortunately. And we've put ourselves in a predicament where we have a lot of people that operate in this kind of nature, and they carry a lot of power. They carry a lot of power. And we're kind of one of those things where you're just going to have to kind of settle in, learn yourself, grow some strength, grow some wisdom, and recognize that it's going to get way worse before it gets better here on this beautiful earth. It just is. I can assure you of that. It is. This is just the beginning. And it's funny because it just goes to remind me particular conversations that I've had with these particular individuals in my life that carry these godlike complexes, and replaying them in my head. I'm like, wow, I was so like warped in the mind. I was so easily swayed, so easily pushed to believe that I was the problem, that there was something wrong with me because I wasn't seeing what they were saying. And a lot of the times I wore it. A lot of times I did wear it. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, you're right. But now it's just, I'm to the place where it's like, no, absolutely not. Because I know myself. I know what I stand on. I know my morals, my values, my integrity, my ethics, my dignity, my grace, my faith. I know all of these things, so I'm not going to allow somebody else to sway me in a decision, in a choice, in a conversation when I know that I don't align with it, that it does not align with me. And there's just people in this world that you're not going to align with. And for me, I no longer align with people that carry a godlike complex. If you're incapable of looking in the mirror, having a conversation, and recognizing that you are not right all the time because you are not God, you don't know everything, and you are not the judge. You are not the judge. That's the biggest thing, is these people think that they are the judge, that they can judge you. That is another trait of godlike complex. I am God and I can judge you because I say so. And it's just crazy because there are so many people that adopt that type of thinking. What frustrates me the most is when you have these godlike complexes that these individuals carry, and then they throw God into the mix. Then they say they're extremely spiritual. They say they're extremely faithful, devout Christians and followers of God. Followers of God. That's what trips me out. And then they use his language. They use his Bible verses. They use his verbiage. And then they make it as if the kingdom that God has beautifully woven here for us is theirs to dictate what to do with it. What to do with it. It's like, my gosh, no, that's not why God created the kingdom. Not for Pharisees to come. Pharisees carried godlike complexes, did they not? Of course they did. And it's just, it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. But yeah, you have to be very careful. In the work world, you have to be very, very careful with that. That was a big, big issue in reference to my boss. And I replay so many conversations with him, and now I see the big picture in that, and just how many... Man, I was talking to my coworker yesterday about a couple of interactions, a couple of things, and a couple of pieces that I put together, and I'm just so sick to my stomach over it. And I really am just learning to heal through it and let go of that PTSD of it, because it's really truly a sting when you get morphed and you work for a particular company, and it then becomes your reality. It becomes all you know, and there's people in your life that carry control in your life outside of this world, and you then wake up one day and you're like, who's actually controlling my life? Because I don't feel like I'm in control at all. And that's kind of where I was at when I resigned. It's like, I recognize that I'm living in this world and I have no control, and I'm doing something I don't like that's killing me. And it's like, I feel like in a different way, like reflection, Charlie woke up to that, where he's like, I don't know what's going on in my life right now, but I don't feel like I have any control, and I feel like I'm living in a false reality, a fake facade. And I've got people around me making decisions for me, and, deals and things like that I don't morally align with. That does not morally align with me. And it's really interesting to see the unraveling of everything, and how, everything's playing out the way it's supposed to, the way that it is truly supposed to. But yeah, you have to be careful. A lot of manipulators, a lot of narcissists, a lot of different things, which I know that is a very loosely used terminology. And so I try not to use it very much at all. Carry a godlike complex. If you get in a conversation with somebody and their inability to